Why is this show called Into the Loop?
Into the loop! Into the loop!
What is a desert eagle used for?
What?
Big booty bitches.
Into the loop!
Why is the show called Into the Loop? Bitches.
Into the loop!
Booty. Big desert eagle. Bitches. Big desert bitches. Big desert booty. Big desert bitches. Big booty eagle.
Into the loop!
Booty.
Into the loop!
Big desert eagle. Bitches. Big desert bitches. Big desert booty. Big desert bitches. Big booty eagle.
Into the loop!
Welcome back, everyone.
Alrighty. So I just want to talk about something real quick. Well, we're going to introduce the guest. As always, I'm Rabid Pixie.
I am Nawaru Chan.
Yeah, my co-host Nawaru. Today we have a very special guest. Well, I guess not really any more special than the other ones, but they're all pretty special. But old friend of mine, one of the original founders of SRX, along with people like myself and Stunt, and a painter. I own a painting from this miraculous young woman, Mandy Wilde.
Hello.
All right. So
Welcome.
the first thing I want to say
Yeah.
is I have to mute my mic every time we start a podcast because I literally squeal when I hear the theme song playing because it's so fucking good.
I just jam so hard every time.
Dude, I'm always jamming every time. So today we've got a wealth of topics to discuss, but let's give the floor to our guest Mandy Wilde, and you can tell us what is your stick? What do you do? What's your brand?
So I do a bunch of different styles of art, but mostly paintings. I specialize in a style that I like to think that I kind of coined in the specific way that I do it. I go to the hardware store, I grab every color of paint sample, like a million of them, and then I make paintings out of them. Everything from like semi-realistic portraits to you can do landscapes. I've done pet portraits like that. And I also do paintings in picture frames. I do a lot of pet portraits and fantasy portraits and stuff. Doing the backwards painting on the glass technique. You've probably seen a few people do it on Instagram, but I've been specializing in trying to do portraiture and stuff layered through glass. So that's kind of like my shtick. I also do everything else, watercolor and drawing and sculpting and crafting and sewing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm the person that you would ask if you had a cosplay you needed to put together for a con and you needed props and a costume and everything else to go with it. I'm the guy to ask.
Nice.
That is incredible.
Now I have a painting from you that I commissioned. I think I can't remember how much I paid, but it was certainly worth it. I asked for it, but now my envisionment of it was like more of like a pop art comic type thing with explosions in the background, very Michael Bay. But what I got was far better. But it's essentially the Ninja Turtles fighting the Power Rangers on like this Japanese island with these trees and mountains in the background. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I made that like I can't remember the era that I did, but like the traditional Japanese style art. That thing took me forever because I
Yeah.
used one paintbrush to do the whole thing because so much of it is like tiny little hyper detail where all the lines are like layered together. I used one tiny little paintbrush that the tip of it was like the size of a toothpick, and I painted that whole painting with that one paintbrush, and it took me ages, but I really loved how it turned out. It came up
That's
on my
awesome.
Facebook memories the other day, actually.
Yeah. So we've got your Instagram linked, so I can't recommend the art enough.
That is
Um,
incredible.
yeah.
I recently started doing Minecraft animals and stuff in the paper the paper way, and I sold that as a few of those
Oh.
at a con, and those are a lot of fun to do. I love doing the Minecraft ones with the paper because it makes it like 3D, because it's like it's because you have to build the entire scene piece by piece by piece, layer by layer, like like screen printing, but with different
Hmm.
pieces of paper. And yeah, the Minecraft ones are really good that way.
So, do you want to talk a little bit about how you and I first met? Maybe the first SRX event.
Ooh.
That was a fun event. I am completely candid. That was so long ago that all I really remember is that I had a fun time and really wanted to be involved in the next time. But I remember the second event a whole lot better whenever we went up to Michigan and
Hmm.
ended up having that super fun time at MK's place.
Yeah.
But I don't remember the first one really well because I wasn't involved so much in the planning and putting together of the first one. I just so happened to know Brett at the time. We had known each other through some people he went to school with,
Right.
and he was into speed running, and he like invited me to the event. And from that point, I just sort of like weaseled my
Yeah.
way in and was like, "Hey, I like speed running and also stuff. What's up, guys?" And I became involved at the first event. And I wasn't there for the entire thing, I don't think, but I had a really great time, and everyone was
Yeah.
really great. And I met you.
We were extremely drunk.
Oh,
Matter
absolutely.
of
That's
fact,
probably why I can't remember.
the first time we met, I was looking to split a hotel room, and you were like, "Yeah, I'll split one with you." I had no idea who you were. So, we split a hotel room, and then you sent me the money in the mail with a little comic book that you drew that was like something. It was a courtroom, and it's like, "We're all out of order." Do you remember that?
I don't remember that at
Wow.
all, but that sounds so me
I
that
might
I
still have
definitely
that
did it.
somewhere.
I really hope you do. I remember I remember definitely we didn't have PayPal or any other way
Yeah.
for like sending money. So I remember that was my waitressing money that I saved up from tables. So all of that stuff was directly in the hands of the consumer before I put it in that envelope.
Hmm. Now,
Wonderful.
I
Wait, was the comic if Oprah was a judge?
maybe.
Maybe
I
because
don't
that
I don't really remember. I just remember there was a
okay.
courtroom and they were all yelling about being out of order.
Yeah, okay. It might have been. It might have been a comic about Oprah as a judge, and you're out of order, and you're out of order. Everybody's out of
Yes.
order.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yes, that's what it was. Yes.
Yeah.
So I always find it weird when maybe it's just me, but when I have two friends who've never met before.
Mhm.
But before we went live, there were quite a few agreements on. We were discussing the top five shoes, and and you first said all Mega Man, all five of them. And they said no, four Mega Man shoes, and then the Shadow Skates, which is the Noir's number one.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah, that's what he said number one last time. So that's why I kind of wanted to push that in here. But yeah, what do
That's
you
hilarious. You can't mention good shoes in video games without talking about the rocket skates.
have you seen
I
Sonic the Hedgehog 2?
Yes, absolutely. I wouldn't have missed it, especially not after the debacle that was the making of Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Speaking of Sonic the Hedgehog, before it was remade, have you all seen the new Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie on Disney Plus?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it, but I know what you're about to reference, and it's so beautiful.
It's
Please,
so good.
please describe this.
It's Ugly Sonic.
Yes, Ugly Sonic is at the cons because like it's like BoJack
What?
Horseman style. So like all the cartoons are like real people, and like Dale is at cons and stuff with all the other washed up cartoons, and Ugly Sonic is there, and he's at a booth with everybody, and he's like, "I know people in the FBI. I'm super cool," and he's like, "I don't care that I have human teeth. I still am lovable anyways," and like he's a pinnacle character in the movie. He's like really important to the plot.
Oh my god!
It's so good.
Oh my
Wow.
god.
So
Hmm.
let's talk a little bit about Shadow the Hedgehog because I want to see what exactly because I like Shadow, but I'm a more of a hardcore Sonic fan. I like Sonic. I like the True Blue of the Blue Blur. Never gets
Hmm.
old.
Of course.
What is it? What is it about? But I hear a lot of people say like Shadow's the coolest character, and I kind of have the opinion that he's just a little too much edge lord. But
Well, that's
what do you guys like about him?
what I like about Shadow. Now, Shadow's not my favorite character in the Sonic realm or whatever. But what I like about Shadow is that in a world of where everything is cutesy and sweet, and it's the power of friendship and stuff. Like whenever you're cooking a meal, whenever I bake a cake or something, bake a tart, you always want to have like something to cut through the sweetness and allow people's palates to reset so they can fully appreciate the flavor, right? And Shadow is that little bit of dark chocolate in your apple tart that like brings out the sweetness of the rest of it. You know what I mean? So like Sonic's like a nice little like dark thing in the middle of all this nice and friendship sweetness, and it's always good to have like a bit of a dark side.
Nowaru, your rebuttal.
When you do a trick with him in Sonic Adventure 2, he goes, "Heh, I'm the coolest."
That's empirical evidence, actually. That's like
Plus,
from
he
the
has jet
horse's mouth.
skates.
The jet skates are the coolest part of Shadow,
Yeah,
okay? Like he has skates on his feet that have jets on them that allow him to
yeah,
go
Right?
super fast.
right.
The only rule in Sonic's world is you got to go fast, and Shadow was like, "Oh, I'll show you fast."
Yeah, I mean, he just came out of a tube, so like, there's no way he's gonna match Sonic on his feet, you
No,
know.
definitely not.
No. He
So
might he might with the Chaos Emerald.
right, but he got to have the shoes.
Yeah, you need the rocket skates because like you said, he's like Batman versus the Flash. Batman has to like make stuff to be able to be a superhero, and the Flash is just fast. You can't beat that.
Right, right. That's a good way of looking at it. But another thing I like about Shadow is that his character is just so much more open to growth.
That is
That's
true.
true. That's true. Sonic's already peaked there at like friendship and love and talking saves the day and got to go fast, etc.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. He doesn't have a lot of lessons to learn.
Not really. I've never known Sonic to be selfish or self-centered or not listen to his friends or any of that. My my main e- experience with Sonic is the cartoon from back in the day.
In the
Because I never,
90s.
yeah, because I never had the Sega to play Sonic on except at my friends' houses. So it wasn't until I was an adult that I actually played the games. The first Sonic game I ever played all the way through, Sonic '06.
Wow.
Yep.
I
And
bet that was difficult.
I was like, wow, Sonic sucks. Why is this so popular?
Oh, don't worry. Pretty much everyone has that opinion these days.
Oh yeah. Oh no. The Game Grumps channel peaked whenever they played Sonic '06, and it like
Oh
ruined their
yeah.
lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JonTron quit because of that.
Yeah. Yep. No, I quit because of that. I
Because
mean,
of
like I
Sonic
would too.
06.
I almost never played a Sonic game again after Sonic '06 until people explained to me that that was a dumb place to start and there were better games.
Yeah, I don't know. It, you know, it's kind of like everything that comes out that's kind of cheesy and corny and just not good in design right off the bat. Like you could say the Star Wars prequels, right?
Yeah, people
People
love the
used to,
Yeah.
prequels now though.
yeah. People used to hate them, now they love them. People used to hate Sonic Adventure, now they love it. Sonic 06 is next.
It can't be
Uh,
next. It can't be. Dude, people aren't liking Enterprise now, like the worst Star Trek series there ever was. That's still universally reviled, except for by like a small,
Oh,
small subsect of Star Trek fans. Enterprise still sucks to this day. So some things don't get nostalgia goggles. Some things just suck.
I have a story about my
Oh.
history with Sonic. I've been playing Sonic. I told Noir this story a little bit. Actually, no. Did I? I told someone this story. Oh, no. I was asking you if I told you the story. But here's the story. I, I've been playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 since I was like 3 years old. I remember how this topic came up. We were talking about how kids are way too good at Fortnite.
Oh yeah.
Right, but it was like if it was your game that you played since you were 5, you'd probably be amazing at it too. Like, let's see these kids beat me in Sonic 2. I had this guy, full grown adult, one of my friends, not my friend anymore. We were playing. He said he could beat me in Sonic 2. There's a versus mode where you race through some tracks and then you play the special stages. and he was like, "Yeah, I could beat you." And I'm like, "Dude, no, seriously, I'm telling you right now that you are going to be very upset with what is about to happen, and I really don't think that you should do it because you seem like the type of person that really, really wants to win, and I'm telling you, you're not going to win. You won't win a single one of these stages." And he played with me, and I completely locked him out, and he got mad and walked away.
Ha!
You try to tell a guy.
You try to tell people, man.
I mean, catch me on WoW.
Right? Fight me in Naruto.
You guys
That's right.
watch What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes.
Yeah, of course I do. I have taste.
What's your favorite episode, Nora?
Oh man, I think it's the Jackie Daytona episode.
That's everyone's favorite. The real best episode is the one where Colin Robinson's powers reach their peak.
Oh yeah. He regrows his hair.
Where he's floating and like stealing people's energy just by looking at him.
The thing I like about that episode the most is is that the episode where he's working in the office and draining everyone in the office?
Yes.
Yeah, so I like that part where he's like, "Oh, I found this smorgasbord of energy that I can eat because everyone here's miserable."
It's such a perfect character because we all know a Colin Robinson, and they don't know they're a Colin Robinson, but they are.
My favorite episode is the ghost episode because Laszlo says, to Nadia, she says, it could be a ghost, and he says, "Bullshit, there's no such thing as ghosts." Being a vampire.
Right? I know that's everything Laszlo says is basically gold. And everything Nadia says.
It's
I
the
love them.
witches.
Yes. No, whenever the episode where the witches kidnapped them all, and then Laszlo's like, "Oh, but she turned into a perfect copy of you." It's like, this woman looks nothing like me. It's a completely different person. That was too funny.
Oh my gosh. This fucking guy.
Yeah. Oh man, I cannot wait for the next season because that last season, such a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Oh. We're not caught up yet, so I'm on season 3, episode 5, I think.
Okay, yeah, you're close to the end, but you're not there
That
yet.
was a close one.
I try not to say the very endings of things just in case people haven't seen it because I've had that happen to me too often. Someone spoiled the ending of Deep Space Nine whenever I was on season 3 out of 7. Just by walking in the room and being like, "Oh, don't you love when it blah, 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 blah?" And I'm like, dog, are you serious right now?
How old were you when that happened?
I was 22.
Wow.
Oh no.
So young.
I know. But I hadn't watched Deep Space Nine as a kid. I watched all of Voyager and a little bit of TNG and some Deep Space Nine, but you can't just watch Deep Space Nine. You can't just like flip it on and be like, "Oh, I'll just watch this," because it was actually a serialized TV show in the 90s, which was almost a crime. But it's what it was, so it was really hard to just jump in. But watching it from start to finish is good. Don't let me get started talking about Star Trek if you want to talk about anything else.
Oh, no, this is good. Honestly, we have guest episodes just so we can take a break.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Not really. That's just a crack, but good idea. Right? What do you think, Nomaru?
I think it's a great
Actually,
idea.
you know what? You just want to do the podcast?
We're just gonna let you go on.
Yeah, you just keep going.
We're
Okay,
gonna bow.
sure. Hey, guys.
No,
well,
wait, stop.
Today we're going to talk about Season 5, Episode 12 of Voyager, Counterpoint.
Oh my god. See, and this is what I like about Sybil. She knows the episode number, the episode name, the serialization. I believe there was a time when you were quoting, you were just reciting the script to me once.
Yeah, it definitely was. There was so my boyfriend Austin, he used to live in Florida, and we were like doing the long distance thing, so we would watch Star Trek together. He would put it on and I would put it on. We'd sync it up and everything. But there was a time where he was watching an episode of Voyager and I wasn't watching with him, and he just texted me a joke about what was happening in the scene. I believe what he said was, "Oh, so Harry's into getting tied up now," and then I texted back the exact line that the character on the screen said right after Harry gets thrown on the bed, because it's a weird episode. But
Uh-oh.
like I quoted the exact line that the lady said, and it was like, "We must nucleate a large amount of genetic material in order to facilitate reproduction," which is a line that I will never forget because how ridiculous is that? Those words I just said. But yeah, so I know Star Trek frontwards and sidewards and backwards, etc. Actually, there's no video, but if you can see the bookshelf behind me, I actually have like script books and stuff back there.
You know it
Wow.
inside out.
Oh yeah, I don't know the Next Generation as well as I know Voyager, but I do know a lot about. Austin and I watched every single thing that Star Trek has ever made, all the movies, all the shorts, all the episodes of every TV show, including the animated series, all of it.
Wow.
Most of it was not fun to watch.
What's your onion on Picard?
I like Picard. I liked all the nostalgia that they were intentionally giving me. I feel like we learned from both Discovery and Picard that you have to do episodic Star Trek if you want it to work, because Lower Decks was episodic, Strange New Worlds was episodic. Both are the highest rated new Star Trek shows. Discovery and Picard both suffer from if Picard the whole show was a two-parter episode of TNG, it would be better because the premises were weird and it was a little bit flawed and I didn't like the ending of it. And if they could have just jetted out of that bad storyline halfway through the season and moved on to something else, it would have been a lot better. But I just didn't like the ending of the first season. And then I thought the second season just didn't need to be as long as it was.
That's kind of how I felt about Kenobi. It was only 6 episodes, but I was like, man, this could have just been like 1 or 2 movies.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
Kenobi. I
Oh,
watched
man.
I watched all of The Mandalorian, obviously, and then I watched the first few episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. And then I have seen almost everything Star Wars has ever made as well. And I know as much about Star Wars as I know about Star Trek, weirdly enough, but I'm not that big of a Star Wars fan. Like everyone
Right.
I've ever known has been a huge Star
It's
Wars
okay.
fan.
I forgive you.
I appreciate that. I forgive everybody for not knowing, that Janeway was born in Bloomingdale, Indiana. So
Now, Waru, you're a big prequels fan. Am I
I
wrong
am.
about that?
I am, yeah.
Hey, your favorite? Oh,
Really?
that's right. So I don't know if I ever told you this, Sybil, but all I have to say about the the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's all I have to say. He's the man. He's my favorite character. Now, just what would be better if I just let Nawaru say? Would you want to just say your favorite character, or do we want to guess?
Go ahead, guess.
it's Salacious Crumb.
No.
No? Weird.
Think about it real hard. What would be the most ironic from a prequels fan?
Well, liking Jar Jar Binks isn't ironic anymore, so it can't be him.
No.
Is it the girl who is pretending to be Padme Amidala before Natalie Portman steps in?
No. She's up there, though.
Yeah, she's
Somehow I
a
knew.
babe.
Right? Yeah, whenever I first saw that movie, it was in theaters, and I was like
Me
10,
too.
and I didn't understand
Yeah.
what happened between the trade out because they looked exactly alike
Mhm.
to me, and I was just like very confused by that storyline as a small child.
All right, so go ahead. Go ahead and just reveal
yeah.
it.
What's your favorite character? I'm never gonna guess.
General Grievous.
Oh, of course.
So
Oh, see, I was trying to think of like obscure people.
Well, that's the thing is my favorite character is Obi-Wan and his favorite character is Grievous.
Fight.
Yeah. Oftentimes I say hello there to this man.
General Kenobi.
What's really interesting about this union here, and it was the same with Stunt, is I wouldn't have met either of you if it weren't for SRX. However, Nawaru went to, I think was it the last one ever held?
Yes, I went to SRX 2019.
So Mandy and I we did like the first ones and you did like the last ones. So I want you to tell her your experience with the most recent SRX convention.
It was a really good time. I
Word.
was staying. I shared a hotel room with a couple of people, who will not be named just for privacy. And we went and I met Taraj and Hubert and
Taraj. I forgot Taraj existed.
Right. He's the man.
he's
No,
so cool.
absolutely, he's the man. You know, I still have one of the power strips I was supposed to give back to that guy.
Oh no!
Yep,
Taraj 42, if you're listening, if you're out there, we have your
I've
power
got
strip.
I've got your green power strip, dude.
It's here in the studio.
I'm using it
Studio.
to hook up my PlayStation.
Oh.
But like,
Um,
talk about just talk about the setting and like the things that they did because from what I know the first one and I know the last one, I know everything that's happened and how different it is. So I just want to hear the stark comparisons.
okay. So, it was held at the game arena in Columbus, Ohio. I think it was Columbus, Ohio, at least. And it was basically just like a. It had like a mini snack bar and just a bunch of computers everywhere. And then in another room, it had kind of like what you would see in a League of Legends tournament kind of setup. You know,
Right.
you got a long desk going diagonal in one way and then another one the other way. And we had everyone set up in the middle, and then there was a projector on the wall, I believe. And there was a control room that handled the projector and everything that was going on with that. And for the most part, Hubert and Taraj kind of took care of everything, as well as a couple of other people that I just cannot remember the names of.
Yeah.
They were all incredibly nice, and I regret that I cannot remember them very badly. Because they just were so cool. I remember I bought everyone drinks one night who was over 21 and could, show ID. That was awesome. I spent most of the time drunk.
Yeah, that's right. That
So
sounds
that hasn't
familiar.
stopped.
Yeah,
No.
that's pretty the same.
The drink of choice for me was a chug jug.
What was that?
That is, it was like blue raspberry vodka. It was
Oh,
really strong.
wow. Yeah, the first one we did, so it started out we all met at the Nights Inn in Greenville, Tennessee, and we all just we met the night before and then we all got just so drunk. We were all sitting in there speed running games and having a good time and just getting so drunk. It was so bad that I got up in the morning and I went and bought everybody Gatorade and painkillers and snacks because I knew they were gonna be fucked up but somehow we were all young, we got through it.
Right, it
Mhm.
was fine.
But it's just so interesting because the first time we did it in a college art room, and then the next one we did in a garage. But now Noir is telling a story here where they did it at like in a legitimate esports venue. So
Yeah,
it's so weird how actually far it went before the flame finally went out.
we can thank Hubert for that.
Hubert kept
Hubert,
it going.
yeah, he was in connections with the owner, and I think they were friends or something. I don't really remember. It wasn't really any of my business. I was just there for the fun times.
Gotcha. So let's talk about speedruns. We're talking about Speedrunning Expo. What kind of speedruns do we like? I know Mandy does some weird ones.
I do.
Okay.
I'm gonna-
Uh, the game that got me started in speedrunning was well, actually, if you want to go all the way back in time, the game that got me started in speedrunning was Super Mario World, because you can beat the second level in under 30 seconds if you take the right line, and I discovered that at about 12. And we only had a Super Nintendo from the age of 3 until I was 16. All we had was a Super Nintendo, so I played the
Whoa.
same 17 games over and over and over and
I've been
over and
there.
over. I can speedrun Mario's Time Machine, that movie, that game about answering trivia questions about Sir Isaac Newton. That one got it
What?
memorized.
I've never heard of this.
Oh, dude, yeah, okay, so what happens is Luigi's kidnapped. No, Mario's kidnapped, and you have to go.
Oh,
No, I'm
that's
sorry.
Mario's missing.
No, I'm sorry. Mario has a time machine. Princess has been kidnapped.
Oh,
And Bowser is traveling through time and stealing all of the notariable things through history, like the apple that hit Newton's head. He also stole the Statue of Liberty and the Great Wall of China and like Beethoven's piano and just stuff like that,
so
right?
Carmen San Diego.
Yeah, so basically that. And then you have to go to the time that you go into the thing, the place, and then you take the time machine. You have to surf along the water of the ocean and collect mushrooms enough to power up the time machine and then go through the time vortex, which takes you back in time. And you ask all the people in history about what happened, the thing, and then you can answer like this little test about history, and then that allows you to defeat the area and you can like go back and eventually you have to
Oh,
like fight a boss and you do that like 7 times.
Nice.
I've never heard of this.
It's
But,
a great
but
game.
you were speedrunning that game.
Yeah, I speedrun that game for a while until I actually look up the like best like line and run and statistics and stuff on it, and I was like, I don't want to devote that much time to getting anywhere close to that for this game, because it was just fun to do, because like I said, I only had like 17 games. I had a lot of weird obscure, I had Mario's Missing as well, I had
Yeah.
Super Putty, I had a Star Trek Super Nintendo game which was really bad,
Ooh.
So,
Earthworm Jim.
so
Nice.
yeah, Earthworm Jim. Do the sound effect,
Yeah.
Noir.
What?
Do the
Which
sound
one?
effect. The Earthworm Jim sound effect.
Moo.
The cow.
That's not the one I expected.
I remember it wasn't what I was expecting either. I remember you were speedrunning that at SRX 15 and you got stuck on like the last level or something. It was so funny.
Yes, dude, I got stuck on Run Jib Run. I had a perfect run almost. Okay, so I got
Oh
a little
man.
stuck on the one where you have to inflate your head and like go through the thing because I lost track of the count of whenever the cats like drew their projectiles. But other than that, I was having like a perfect run, even on the Villi people level, which anyone who plays that game knows like is an impossible level. But yeah, I did a jump, like one of those jumps on the fans that throws you forward. I did one of those. And whenever I did that, I clipped through the platform and hit like one of those walls that are supposed to go up and down, but I had gone past the point where I tripped the thing that opened the door and you can't go back. So I had to restart the level, and that was just the worst.
Now my favorite run you've ever done, because I just thought it was absolutely amazing. It was just incredible. Was your Mario Kart Wii run?
Yes, that one was a lot of fun to do. That's another game that I've spent way too much time on and know backwards, forwards, and sideways. Is Mario Kart? I did the Mushroom Cup upside down on the Wii.
Oh.
You said the
Yeah,
secret word.
is upside down the secret word?
Yes.
Or what does that mean? Is this like ping pong balls are gonna fall
Was
on me or something?
No, it's like just in Pee Wee's Playhouse when they say the secret word, we just scream.
Okay, in Captain Kangaroo, when you say the secret word, ping pong balls fall out of the ceiling.
Oh, well, we don't have any we don't have the budget for ping pong balls.
I would be amazed if ping pong balls rained on me right now while
I
I'm sitting in my own house.
just wait.
I'm waiting.
So yeah, that SRX was great. There was
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
we did. I think I already told the story about Kanye Guest and how MK was
Yes,
running the game. We just had it split in 4 different screens and blah blah
that
blah.
was
That was a good
so
one.
funny.
So we like to go over like a few current events, like kind of like a bit of a gaming news segment, I guess.
Word.
So, Noir, what do we have for current events?
So
Gaming
current
wise.
events free on Epic Game Store right now.
Oh yeah,
We have Killing Floor 2
big
and
money.
Ancient Enemy.
There
Very
was
good games.
there was something else we were getting excited about, but I don't remember what it was.
Um
It was the next week. The
oh,
Yeah, what was it?
um
On the 14th?
let's see. I'm not sure.
That's
You're gonna
okay.
have to
We can
you're gonna have to remind me.
we can check it later. Kazuki Takahashi died.
That's
Did you
sad.
hear about that?
Yes, I heard about that.
You guys like Yu-Gi-Oh?
I did when it was relevant to my age group.
Yeah, same.
What are you trying to say?
You know what I'm trying to say.
I
I'm
mean,
trying to say that anything after the first series sucked ass.
That's exactly what we're saying. Try to come at me with dice? Really? Dice? Get
Card
out.
games on motorcycles.
are you? Yeah,
Really?
dude. I think card games on motorcycles is amazing. You couldn't come up with that.
Yeah, I can't come up with a lot of other bad ideas. It's because I generally try to think of good stuff.
Do not speak ill of the dead.
I'm not speaking ill of the dead, I'm speaking ill of his idea.
All right, fine.
I mean, like, come on.
But yeah, I loved Yu-Gi-Oh. I if I could afford it, I would still play the card game. To be
I played the
honest.
shit out of the card game when I was younger. Back in high school, that's what all of us like
Yeah.
nerds would do at lunch was sit around with our binders of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and hypothetically build like decks and stuff.
Dude, yeah, that was awesome. Those were the days.
I still have a lot of my trading cards from back then. I've got a collection of Dragon Ball Z cards. Actually, no, I sold those to MK.
Oh, wow. Dragon Ball
That's
Z is
right.
getting popular. You guys
Yeah,
ever
I've
play
had
the DBZ card game?
I had a bunch of DBZ cards because I played it in high school, but then MK said he was looking for DBZ cards, and I was like, okay. I mean, I've got these, and they're just sitting around doing nothing.
Um, so there's a Untitled Star Wars movie that Taika Waititi's working on.
I love Taika
My
Waititi.
my theory is
Mhm.
my theory. So Disney has been pretty consistent with this trend of announcing their movies really early. Like they'll come out one day and just have the whole lineup for the next 2 years with titles. It's
Yeah,
very rare you see one that doesn't have a title, and if it doesn't, it usually comes out very soon after. But this one, we haven't heard anything else about it. So my theory is it's going to be about Revan.
that's not a bad theory. But with I don't know with I don't think Taika has any idea what he's doing with it. He was asking Natalie
Yeah.
Portman if she wanted to be in a Star Wars movie because he
Yeah, I
forgot
read
what the
about that.
prequels were.
Yeah, I read about
That's really funny.
That's
Oh,
super funny.
I found what you were nudging at earlier,
Oh, what was it?
Pixie. So, um, on the 14th on Epic Game Store, Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap will be coming for
Wh-
free.
Which which I gotta say, Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap is just a phenomenal title that could never be taken the wrong way.
Absolutely
Oh,
not.
definitely not. There's only,
What
one
what do you
way.
guys think that game's about? Knowing nothing else about it.
What's it called again? Wonder Boy the
Wonder Boy.
Dragon's Trap.
Yes.
It sounds a lot like Shazam gets sucked back in time, kind of like Evil Dead 3. Is it that? Is that it?
I I don't know what it is. I just thought the title was pretty funny.
It is not. It is not that.
Lame.
It's a 2D indie action adventure platformer.
Okay, that's close. I was close.
What else we got going on this week?
Did y'all
Uh,
see the new episodes of The Orville?
Of a what?
The Orville? The new Seth MacFarlane show, the sci-fi show?
I don't know what that is.
Well, I'm
I've
here to
never
shill
seen it.
for it. It's
Oh.
fantastic. If you like Star Trek, then you will love The Orville. It starts off as a comedy, but like this newest season, after it got canceled by Fox and got picked up by Hulu to be a Hulu original, this new season is like all pure sci-fi drama. I was in tears for the last 2 episodes. I was like, holy shit, it's like real sci-fi now.
Oh wow.
It was always real sci-fi, but it was a comedy. It's not a comedy anymore. And it's
I
like
feel like I
it
have heard of
rivals
this.
it rivals Star Trek to me. Like it's like how back in the day Andromeda and Firefly also aired alongside other sci-fi greats.
Speaking of Seth MacFarlane, Noir and I discovered a game
Oh,
on
yeah.
EGS yesterday. It's a free game. It is a card game featuring characters from Family Guy, American Dad, The Simpsons,
I believe so.
and there's
Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers,
Futurama.
Futurama. Like yeah. So I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like a fun card game to me. I would play
Is it
that.
wait, Is
They
it like an actual physical card game, or is it like one of those digital card
it's
games?
one of the digital card
I've
games.
seen an ad for that, and I was like, this seems like a scam from like Chinese scammers to get my credit card information.
Maybe it is. I don't think it would be on a platform like EGS if it was like that, though.
They're
Yeah.
sneaky these days.
Yeah.
I,
So
of,
we started this like episode 10 something. We do a fuck yeah moment every episode because the world right now is literally like on
Falling
fire.
apart.
It's falling apart.
don't get me
I
started on
I
that.
kind of just want to believe it's flat at this point. I don't know why, but somehow that seems preferable. But yeah, it's ridiculous. So we like to do a fuck yeah moment to sort of bring our moods up. So Noari, let's start with you. Fuck yeah moment for the week.
So I can't go into anything really into detail yet,
Uh-oh.
but I have been in contact with someone who may or may not want to be on the show as a guest in the future, and that would be
They're 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 from like a publishing company or something.
yes,
Yeah. I
possibly.
would love that if that happens.
It would be incredible, but let's not get our hopes up too soon.
That's a big fuck yeah, I think.
Let's go with you next, Pixie.
Me?
Yeah.
My fuck yeah moment was last night around midnight when I realized they finally stopped shooting fireworks. Like
Hallelujah, brother.
like it was midnight and I was just like, wait a minute. No one shot fireworks today. Fuck yeah. That's mine. It's pretty simple. You got one?
Right.
Today I successfully crowdfunded enough money to buy a bounce castle for my roommate's birthday.
You made that up.
Nope, it's true.
Oh,
I'm
that's
looking at the
awesome.
money right now.
That's incredible.
I'm pretty stoked.
That's
'Cause
awesome.
now I have everything I need to make a ball pit and a
Wow.
bounce house at a moment's notice, and a hammock and a bunch of other stuff. I basically live with a carnival in my attic.
You would be great friends with @BouncyClown on Twitter.
Oh man, maybe.
At Bouncy Clown, if you want to be on the podcast, hit us up. We love clowns. I am a clown.
That's true.
Do we want to just do top 5 now?
Yeah, yeah.
This top five happened because I think Noir said tomatoes do go on tacos. So I was
They
like,
do.
yeah, let's do top 5 tomato dishes.
Yeah. Since I came up with it, I guess I'll lead.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
Yeah.
So, number 1, pepperoni pizza. Just a plain
Okay.
pepperoni.
Okay.
Number 2, chicken parmesan.
Where do the tomatoes go in this recipe?
It's the sauce.
It's the sauce.
Is it
and
really?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
the spaghetti sauce and chicken parm.
Okay. Please.
Usually just spaghetti too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
okay.
spaghetti with chicken on.
Yeah.
I yield.
Number 3 is taco salad.
Would you count that as
Okay.
a tomato dish?
Yes,
It's a
because
dish
It
with
has
tomatoes on it.
tomatoes.
it has
Oh, is that
tomato.
what? Okay, is that what we're doing? Okay.
Yeah. Number 4 is a burrito. And number 5 is a taco.
Top 5 Taco Bell items, apparently.
Right?
You go, Mandy. I don't know what I'm gonna say yet.
Okay,
I don't
so
like saying things other people said.
top 5 tomato dishes. Number 1, spaghetti with meat sauce. Classic.
Thumbs up.
Number 2,
Yes.
Midwest style goulash.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Number 3, tikka masala.
Ooh.
Number 4, caprese.
Okay.
Number 5,
Okay.
fried green tomatoes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh hell yeah! That just straight up is tomatoes.
Hard to get more of a tomato dish than fried green tomatoes.
That's true.
So I'm gonna start with a juicy old hamburger.
All
I
right,
think that
nice.
counts, right?
Yeah,
It's got tomato.
Yeah,
Well, I guess you don't.
absolutely.
You guess you don't have to have tomato,
you don't
The
but
really
it's
better
got
have to
bit.
have
ketchup.
tomato, and
Ketchup is
it doesn't
tomato.
have to have ketchup either. But if you like your hamburgers with tomato, then it counts.
Oh, I love tomato. Uh, Number four, just tomatoes with salt. Slice them up, dip them in salt. That's
Yeah.
amazing. That's amazing.
That was going to be mine instead of fried green tomatoes, but I went with the fried ones.
You have to. It's a top five, so you have to pick.
Hmm.
You know,
Exactly.
you that's. I think more people should really understand that there are choices to make in life. And that's what we're really here to teach is making choices. You know, you wake up one day, like on a Friday, July the 8th, and you think, maybe I should make something of my life. But instead, you choose to make a podcast.
A common affliction.
Uh, Number three. Oh God, I was gonna say tacos. That's a good one.
Nice.
Number two is I don't know if you guys have ever had this. I don't remember what it's called, but it's a just a big ass tomato that's cut in quarters and it's spread out kind of like a flower, and then they just put chicken salad in the middle of it. Just a big glob of chicken salad in the tomato. It's like a stuffed chicken salad tomato or something like that.
That sounds amazing.
That it
Sounds
is
good.
it is so
Oh
good.
man.
It is so good. And number one, gosh, I have to think about this one. Hmm. Yeah, I'm prepared, guys. I'm prepared.
Can see that.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Tomato soup.
Classic.
Yeah, class. You can't beat tomato soup.
With grilled cheese, you can't get a better time.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
You dip the grilled cheese in the soup. You guys do that?
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Like, so you eat the soup till it's about halfway down, and then you clean it up with the sandwich. That's how I
No,
do it.
I
Hmm.
always just completely go ham on the sandwich at first, and
You
then have
just
to end up
drown it.
eating soup with no sandwich.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
I like dip immediately.
brave
Like,
soul.
yeah, and then it's just like all soup, no sandwich.
I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Salsa.
Yo,
Yeah,
salsa.
salsa. Yeah, true that.
So, uh, that was an amazing top five. I don't think I could have helped for a better one. But so one thing that Noir and I could probably talk about for about the same amount of time you could talk about for Star Trek is is World of Warcraft. And
Yes.
something that happened recently, I just want to talk about it because it's so strange. So World of Warcraft is going to be releasing classic Wrath of the Lich King very soon.
Hmm.
So they did a trivia thing on their Twitter saying if you can answer these trivia questions, blah 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 blah, you get to pass to the beta or whatever. And the questions were so easy.
Hmm.
Anybody could know the answer to these questions. It's like who replaced the Lich King after he died? Like that's so easy.
I remember there being one pretty good one.
Yeah, there was one good one. But I replied to them with a real question, which was the one about our fan theory, but no one responded. So I'm kind
It
of
was
sad about
sad.
that. Yeah. Uh,
Um,
no, go ahead.
I'd like to go ahead and say that I probably will not be playing Wrath of the Lich King or Dragonflight.
Why?
I just don't know if I can afford it or if I
Oh,
even
yeah, that's
really
true.
want to. Like, I'm I'm really disappointed with the game. It's just I think franchise fatigue has gotten to me, you know?
That's good. Move on.
I
I've
think it's
never played
back to
WoW.
OSRS.
Wait, you never played WoW?
Nope.
You played any MMOs?
Yeah, I played City of Heroes back in the day. I used to play League of Legends like crazy, but I know that's a MOBA, not an MMO.
City of Heroes was such a good game.
You've
It
played City of
was.
Heroes?
Yeah, man. Way back in the day.
I've never played it.
It was all right. I mean, it was like obviously it wasn't as good or as popular as WoW,
Well, yeah. So
right?
what classes did you guys play in? I don't even know if there's classes. Maybe there's not. But what did you guys play in City Heroes?
I was like 16, which was 16 years ago. So
Old
I don't
ass.
remember.
I think I remember something about my character having like muscly ice powers.
My character used like throwing knives and was stealthy. I remember that.
It was really cool. I remember the character customization being really good, and you could like have a bunch of different powers. Kind of like DCU Online.
A lot like that.
Yeah, a lot like that.
Well, as from what I can tell, those games are very identical. I have played DCU, which it was funny. I was talking to Nitzbon the other day, and he's like, "I wish there was like an MMO about superheroes and etc." I was like, "Dude, have you never heard of DC Universe?" He's like, "Wait, is this already a thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude.
Your dreams already been realized.
Dream, yeah,
It's just a little hard to get into. That's all I'm gonna
yeah,
say.
yeah. It's boring, I think. I didn't have the best time with DCU.
It might be better with friends, but I don't think it's something I could really get
Friends.
into. Um, yeah. Oh, red alert. Heroes of the Storm is officially going into maintenance mode.
Oh
Why?
no.
No new
Still
content will
nobody.
be made for that game.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
sad.
Blizzard. I don't know if you're a Blizzard fan. I kind of am. Not really anymore. It's too much drama. I
Was.
but because I have been a Blizzard fan for so long, I'm very qualified to talk about Blizzard properties. And they're just, man, they've lost it. They've lost the light.
Definitely. My
They're
roommate used
they're
to be a
tanking.
huge Blizzard fan, and he has that same opinion.
Yeah, they're tanking pretty bad. And it's really sad to see because so the you see them dropping. Maybe this is a topic we can bring. Well, actually, we got plenty of time. We go usually we go an hour with guests. We go hour and a half. But I mean, if you want to drop, you can drop out anytime. But we can talk. We can just go ahead and talk about this. These great game companies that made amazing games that just keep dropping off the. They just drop. They're gone. They disappear, and
Hmm.
there's more and more of them every day. Deep Silver, they're back, but but back when they were platinum games, they just after Saints Row the Third, they dead.
Yeah.
And there's tons of companies like that that just keep dropping. We talked about a few weeks ago that was it EA or Ubisoft was selling some of their studios. This is a big time publisher to some indie people that nobody's ever
Yeah.
heard of. So it's just I don't know who else have you heard of that just kind of disappeared, Noir?
So I'm pretty sure that Acclaim and all their
Oh,
properties have
look,
just vanished.
yeah.
Like I know I know Turok was taken by I think it was EA. I want to say they
Hmm.
own the license to now. I forget, but it's one of the big companies.
Yeah.
So they managed to find their way there somehow, but for the longest time these IPs were just kind of thrown around
Hmm.
and no one could really make any sense of it because no games
Yeah.
were made for it of these IPs, no stories or anything. Turok
Hmm.
started out as a comic,
Yeah.
but yeah.
And it's getting pretty bad, and maybe this is just with all companies, but all the smaller companies are dying. The herd is thinning, and they either die or they get absorbed by someone big.
Mhm.
And it's just it really sucks because there are some real visionaries that we've lost. What? Konami? Was it Konami that said that they were just?
What is it?
I think Konami just announced that they were done or something like that, or they were selling.
Oh, that's
I haven't heard anything about that.
yeah. I think Konami said that they were no longer going to make video games and they were going to focus
That's
solely
right.
on arcade machines.
Yes.
And or not arcade machines, like slot machines and that,
Yeah.
pachinko and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I know EA is looking to sell, but they're probably going to sell to another, tech company.
Yeah.
Um, Square sold off some of those. Square was the one that you were talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah. It was
earlier.
Square. Yeah. Yeah. It's like
Um,
Final Fantasy.
love Final Fantasy. Um, but yes, uh, I I want to give a really big shout out to the people who are out there archiving things on the internet,
Yes.
like websites and articles and pictures and videos, games, ROMs, emulators, that kind of thing. You guys, you're the real MVP.
Yes. Cause, cause,
Agreed.
'cause one day when the nukes hit and there's no electricity, or that you have to get electricity from a battery and there's no internet, those people are gonna be rich selling discs to you of your old games, your old favorite games.
That's
You know.
right.
I feel like in the apocalypse, I'm going to be worried less about getting Link to the
No.
Past than I am
No.
getting water.
No. No. You're gonna be worried about that.
You said there's no electricity,
Well, I mean, you could
so
get a battery.
I'll probably use it to play
There's no
Link to the
internet.
Past instead of cooking, probably.
Yes.
I'm thinking more like death of the internet
What are you
scenario.
gonna cook, really?
Squirrels.
Rats?
Squirrels.
Immediate thought. I'm surrounded by a million squirrels.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
That's
Oh
right.
no.
Put him on a spike and rotisserie him.
Gotta roast
Oh
fast.
God, some Guro artist is gonna draw that now.
I'm sure it's
Fucked
already
up.
there.
Oh God, should I Google that right now?
No.
Absolutely not.
We need confirmation.
Do we? I think I have enough faith in the perverts of the internet.
Oh my God, there's a lot of them.
I bet.
I want to ask your guys' opinion on cel-shaded graphics. Love them or hate them?
Depends on the game.
Okay. Provide examples. What games is it good with?
I really liked it in games like Bastion. I mean, obviously, any game that's based off of an anime is going to be cel shaded. It's going to look good. Wind Waker's a good example of cel shading being really good.
Oh yeah, Wind Waker's timeless.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is funny because Ocarina of Time is not.
Ha ha ha. I
Not
think that Ocarina of Time was just them remaking Link to the Past, but in 3D.
I
And
agree.
And everyone who's 7 years younger than me thinks it's the best game ever made because they weren't there whenever the Link to the Past came out.
I never liked Ocarina of Time.
What?
I tried. Listen, I've tried it. I respect it. I don't like it. I've tried it over. Everybody says, "Play Ocarina of Time. Play Ocarina of Time. It's the best game ever made. It's one of the only games that got the perfect score on Kotaku, or whatever." I'm just like, okay, I will
Nah.
try it again. And I even did a Let's Play of it on YouTube for many years ago. And I put a lot of time into it, and I just got to the point I was just like, I just really don't like this game. I'm not going to keep making videos about it.
I didn't really enjoy it very much either. I didn't feel like the technology was there for the 3D and the whatnot that they were trying to do.
Hmm.
I didn't like the graphics when it came out and I was a kid. I was like, wow, this doesn't look like anything. So I don't have the nostalgia filter because I never thought that the N64 had good graphics.
There were some. Well, the thing about N64, the graphics, no, they weren't good, but it was like the
No.
first 3D thing.
Right,
That
and
was
it gets
massive.
praised for being the first 3D thing. And, I give it the credit where credit is due, but I feel like it just wasn't there yet. You know what I
Well,
mean?
that's Nintendo. You know, they're like, let's innovate this right now,
Mhm.
even though like there's not really a demand for it yet.
No, not really. I like 16-bit graphics. There's a lot of games I
Yeah.
play that have 16-bit graphics, and they look fine because I hate this race to have better and more realistic graphics. It's like at a certain point, I just don't want to be playing something that looks real. I want to play stuff like Zelda where it looks like a cartoon because it's a game. It's not real life.
Hmm.
Right.
And it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to look like a bird. And like look at Minecraft. People add shaders to give it realistic graphics, but the base game of Minecraft, one of the most popular video games ever made, is 16-bit
It it
blocks.
actually is the most popular video game ever made.
Yeah, I
It sold more copies than anything else.
I have purchased Minecraft. I have 4 different copies of Minecraft. Five. I have 5 different copies of Minecraft.
That's incredible.
Yeah, on different devices, so that I will never be stopped from playing Minecraft, no matter what happens.
Yo, you guys want to play Minecraft?
Yeah, I do. Me and Austin just started a new server for the new update.
Oh
We
fuck
got a whole
yeah.
little village going on.
Yo.
Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yo.
It's hard to find iron in this new update, though.
I'd love to play
Oh
that.
yeah. So we were I say we, I'm taking some credit for Austin's work here. Austin was exploring a mine shaft and he found 3 spawners. A zombie spawner,
Hmm.
a skeletal spawner, and a cave spider spawner, all within distance to where you can stand in the middle and they all activate. So now he made a 3 spawner farm for all 3 of those things.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's really awesome. I feel like Austin specializes in making spawner farms because I've seen him make so many impressive ones.
I like
That's nice.
I like the state that Minecraft's in where it's like when I first played Minecraft, the skeletons were terrifying. Like
They're
the
still terrifying to me. I'm terrible at the combat.
yeah, the monsters were scary and now people are just like, "Oh yeah, they're just there so I can get the bones."
Oh yeah, they're just there for bone meal so I can
Yeah.
grow all these trees.
It's
I mean,
sad.
the spider spawner is great because you don't need sheep for wool. And
Oh,
then I love the map
Mhm.
update
I
where
know
you can
that.
put the banners down. And then, oh, so if you, the spiders drop string, and then whenever you combine string, you get a block of wool. So you can have
What?
all the wool you want without having to worry about sheep.
I
That's
never
pretty
knew that.
cool.
Yeah, man, it's super helpful.
I
So if you like try to, if you're trying to go to sleep and you spawn where there aren't any sheep, if you survive the nights, you can kill enough spiders to make yourself a bed.
yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of spiders.
It's a bunch of spiders, but I mean, I normally can't find a sheep or iron to make shears or whatever for
Mhm.
way too long. So spiders are always a good option. Whatever I get there first.
I've always said that the number one rule for making a video game is that it has to be fun.
Yes,
Yeah.
And what's more fun than cartoons? You know? So
Right.
when cell shading came out, I was a huge fan.
love
There was
cell shading.
there was a Ninja Turtle game. It was around the GameCube era. There was a Ninja Turtle game with cell shading that was amazing. There was the Spider-Man game that came out, Unlimited, I think. That was amazing.
Cell
Uh,
shading.
yeah, Sly Cooper. Oh, we should do top 5 cell shaded games one day. That'd be amazing.
That'd be a fun one.
I think I had that idea at one point in the
I'd
past.
like that. That's a
Well,
So
good
I
one.
I think
so
I named 4 cell shaded games earlier, so there's my top 4.
so my and again, fun games. So I don't think Ocarina of Time is fun at all. I think it's
Agreed.
too clunky. I think it looks bad. But I like Majora's Mask, and
Yeah.
I will go so far as to say that my favorite Zelda game is Twilight Princess. I think I've talked about this before, but I love Twilight Princess.
That one was a fun one.
Had Twilight Princess on the Wii at launch,
Yeah,
and I oh man, that was the
yeah.
best.
I played the inverted Wii version, and I will tell you what, there's there's a lot of games where there's these really neat sword fighting styles and mechanics and systems. Star Wars is well known for having cool sword duels.
Mhm.
I think that final boss against Ganondorf, that sword fight is probably one of my favorite boss fights in video game history.
Fair.
It's the sword dueling aspect was just so cool.
Yeah, I really like the thought of, Ganondorf, the reincarnation of Demise, just pulling out the blade of the sage and just being like,
Yo,
fuck it,
the lore!
fuck
Dropping
it,
the lore!
you know? Like, Ganondorf is just such a Chad, dude. Like,
Absolutely.
let's not front here.
Well, let's dig into it. Like, what makes him such a Chad?
Okay, so not only did he take over Hyrule in like a single day, it seems like, because like by the time Link goes from, Zora Jabu Jabu's belly to the bridge where he sees Impa and, Zelda escaping on the horse like in the dream, what's happened? He's probably killed the king and the queen already. He's probably just destroying everyone in Hyrule Castle, all the guards by himself, and he's just
Yeah.
taking it.
Well, he's got the Triforce of Power.
Yeah. I mean,
That's the one you want to have if you're going to decimate row and rows of guards.
that's right. Let's see. What else is evidence?
I mean, he's the only man that's born to like a race of women, right?
Yeah,
Oh, that's pretty Chad.
So
that
his inner spirit was just so manly that
Yeah.
he was born from a race of women.
So, how does that work? Is that like an Immaculate Conception thing? Is Ganondorf Zelda Jesus?
well,
that-
more like Zelda Lucifer.
Yeah,
Oh.
honestly, they don't. Weirdly enough, they don't go into the sex habits of the races of Zelda and Ocarina
See,
of Time.
I
It's
think-
real missing out on that.
See, I think that's a detail that's just been glossed over for far too long. This is the lore that I want. You know? I
Yeah,
want to
I
know
agree.
the habits and the infrastructure. If you're gonna say, "Oh, I have a tribe full of women," and they just had a man, okay, well, how did that happen? What's the lore?
How
I
are they
want-
continuing to have women? Like,
Yes.
I'm not a doctor, but I
Yeah.
feel like there's something missing in the equation in a
It-
tribe full of only women.
Nintendo would come out and say, "Oh, it's magic."
Of course, it's magic. Of course, it's magic.
I want Hyrule City Builder.
Yo,
Yeah.
Zelda Maker.
I would love that, but only for the 2D games.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
Yeah.
a 2D Zelda Maker.
with the like
Oh,
stupid
man.
weapons that we got in like Link's Awakening and stuff.
Yeah.
Zelda 2 style.
Yes,
Oh
That
my
would be awesome.
God.
dude, I went ham on Mario Maker 1 and 2 when it came out.
Really?
Oh, absolutely, dude. We were making all sorts of stuff to dick each other over constantly.
I've really been interested in Game Builder Garage and Dreams, those kind of games.
Oh yeah, yeah. Dreams is super interesting.
What's
Yeah, I've
Dreams?
heard.
It's basically it's a sandbox where you can do anything and make your own game out of their sandbox tools. People have like recreated really low budget versions of like Spider-Man games and like made their
Wow.
own racing games, made boxing games, like made all sorts of weird stuff, believe you me, but also some really high quality stuff has come out of it because it does give you almost all of the assets that you need to create anything you want.
Mhm.
I'm gonna build a botless version of Team Fortress 2,
Go for it.
and I will revive that game.
I wish
You
you all
probably
the luck.
could.
Can you play Dreams online in any way? Or is it just like a single player experience?
I think there is
You can
online.
play online. You can play other people's games that they've made. That's part of it, is that you can like make your own thing and then publish it and then go into the Dream servers and play other games people have made.
Man, how have I not heard about this?
I have no idea.
It's a PlayStation exclusive, I
Yes.
think.
Oh.
You gotta build your own video game with a
interesting.
PlayStation controller.
Oh
Mhm.
no. That sucks.
EGS does have its own version that I found recently called Core.
Oh really?
Yes.
Dude, I I'm under a rock.
I only found this out like 2 days ago.
Yeah. I I'm getting so old, guys. I had an experience a few weeks ago where I was hanging out with some friends, and they were talking about all these different music artists that I had never heard of that were newer, and they had never heard of any of the older ones that I was bringing up. I was just like, dude, I don't need to be here. These people are way too young for me, so I left.
Ah,
Man, I feel that. I don't know. I still don't know what cap means. No cap? Cappin? What is
that
that?
that means that they're telling the truth and that they're like not being hyperbolic or anything like that. It's just like being like, I'm not gonna lie, but our version of that, that's what that is.
Oh.
It's no Kappa, right? Like Kappa is
No,
the sarcasm emo. It's not related to that.
it is not related to that at all.
It is.
Well, then
Oh,
where'd they get the
I
word
kind of thought
cap
it
from?
was.
Because it's like the level cap, like there's no limit. Like a cap being a limit.
Oh,
You
what?
fucking old
Okay.
dinosaur oil bones
Oh my
motherfuckers.
god. Oh,
Oh, dinosaur oil bones. That
I'm gonna
is
drown in the tar pit later.
that is equally the most complimentary and also most insulting thing that any one person's ever said to me.
Well, good. That's what I was going
Well,
for.
except for when my dad called me son. That one was
Oh
ooh.
shit.
Oh
Cut the
no.
video. Cut it. Um, gosh, I ran out of topics on my list. You got any, Noir?
I do actually.
Oh,
So
sweet.
we were talking about the other day about the possibility of YouTube.
Possibility. Oh, YouTube too. YouTube.
YouTube spelled with a W.
Is that how you spell the number two?
Yeah,
TWO.
TWO.
I don't know how to
Bruh.
spell.
Whoa.
I don't know how kids are spelling these days.
No
Dose?
cap.
No.
Yeah, you think you're
These kids and their
who do you,
caps.
who do you think you are running around town spelling like that? You guys ever seen Letterkenny?
No, no, that's actually I watched a little bit of it, but that's one show I couldn't get into.
Oh, really? You
Never
should.
seen it.
You think I'd love it, but I actually wasn't much of a fan.
Oh,
People say their banter is their favorite part, but I actually didn't like the banter because it felt too scripted.
mm,
But I like Always Sunny, where everyone's screaming at each other all the time. So like that's what feels like a natural conversation to me.
Noir recently started watching that.
Dude, that show
Last
is
year.
freaking hilarious.
Man,
Have you watched any more of that?
not yet.
Oh man.
Oh, dude, prepare to cringe your own teeth off.
Well. He watched episode 1, and
You got to
and
get past that.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say. Well, they even came out and said on their podcast that uh, that it was the studio Fox or whatever that aired that episode first, and they were like, why did you air that episode first?
Right? Like that's a bold move, dropping the
Yeah.
N word in the very first episode of your TV show in the
Yeah.
pilot.
And
Yeah.
they had to blur out the sponsors for the rest of the season
Yep.
because they all pulled out. But
Yep.
seriously, like, give it another chance.
No,
Dude,
I'm
it's
going
so
to.
funny.
Oh, good.
'Cause you
I'm
gotta get
absolutely
past
going to.
the first season sets up how horrible Mac and Dennis and Dee and Charlie are, and then Danny DeVito joins in the second season.
Oh my god.
And
And he's just a piece of shit.
he's just a piece of shit, and it is seriously like I have laughed until I have hyperventilated.
Oh
I have
yeah.
laughed myself into tears. I've laughed until I have peed my own pants. This is
Oh
one of
my
the
God.
funniest shows ever. Like,
It is.
and it's the most quotable show ever. Like,
That's right, you get fork stabbed, Charlie!
That's right.
That's one of my favorites.
Dude, we're always. I'll just walk into the room and I'll look at Mike and I'll be like, "Stop talking about the goddamn rum ham." Like, it should have been you.
Oh man. Rum ham.
Did I make rum ham for my Always Sunny parties every year? And I've made it
Amazing.
progressively more edible every year.
Now, let actually talk about. So you mentioned earlier that you were getting a ball pit and a inflatable castle
Yes,
for your
bouncy castle.
friend's birthday party. Now
Yes.
you've told me about your parties. I've never actually made it to one, much to my eternal dismay,
Right.
but I've always wanted to go. So talk about a little bit about how you throw parties, because this is some of the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Okay.
This is like a Hollywood celebrity threw a party. Like, I'm not kidding.
That's the vibe that I try to go for. So, my favorite party to throw every year is the Always Sunny party. I skipped it this year because I went up to New York to see my best friend Rowan get their doctorate. So now they're a doctor, so kind of worth it. But I go through the Always Sunny show and I take a reference from every single episode, and then I make the food and the drinks and everything, and I make it like completely accurate. For my own birthday party, it's always a formal party, but we also have a ball pit in the back and it has prizes in it, and we have a champagne fountain. I own my own champagne fountain now, so that I can do it.
Wow.
Parties in the past that I've thrown. I once had a pudding wrestling tournament for my best friend Rowan's birthday, and it was Canada themed, and everyone was drinking maple syrup all night. Um, the ball pit is always around and it's always on hand, just in case you need it. We also make like pillow forts for our parties. We always have everything's like completely. I take a lot of time and effort to make everything completely and totally on theme. So everywhere you go, you're like completely surrounded with. So I did a time traveler party for the leap year. Every year, I like to do what I call a time fuckery party, and I make pan galactic gargle blasters like from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy,
Hmm.
and it's my own special recipe, and it involves like Everclear and Goldschlager and a bunch of other stuff, and blood wine, and I've made Canar before and Romulan ale. And I once did a New Year's party where I made a drink based on everything bad that happened because it was 2016. I made a drink called the Gatlinburg Fire, and it tasted like funnel cake that you were eating in a burning building, and that's exactly what it tasted
Oh
like.
yeah, there were wildfires out there.
Yeah,
Get out of
Gatlinburg
here.
caught on
God, I
fire.
forgot about that.
Sad. Dolly Parton came to the rescue, though. Bless her
Absolutely,
soul.
she did. Dolly
Well,
Parton's amazing.
I mean, she kind of had to. She owns the town.
That's true.
Right, that's true.
You said Everclear earlier, and I felt my
Yes.
stomach drop.
Yeah, that's the Pan Galactic Gargle Blaster. It's supposed to feel like getting your brain smashed out by a large gold brick wrapped in a
Yeah.
slice of lemon.
Oh,
And that's
man.
You ever seen
exactly what it felt like.
You ever seen the Hitchhiker's movie, Nor?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
But I know it's pretty good.
We should
It's-
watch that for movie night.
You definitely
We
should.
could.
That movie's amazing.
So I got a question for you.
Yes, I left out a couple of my best parties, but
No, go
yeah.
ahead.
Oh, for my
List them.
30th birthday, we put up a large plastic tent outside, like a large one that took up like most of our yard. And
Mhm.
then we had a Barcelona style color fight with like color chalk and like paint and stuff. And we like flung it all over each other and like did that to
What?
celebrate turning 30. That was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed that. We of course we have like the disco rave in the hallway where we fill it. We have a smoke machine and a bunch of laser lights and stuff like that. Um, yeah, it's that kind of stuff, you know.
And
Nice.
you don't have a celebrity budget.
No, I have a budget of someone who does the job that I do.
Yeah, so the fact that you do these things is just mind blowing to me.
It's it's really a lot of fun, and it's kind of what I've been known for. And being able to be really social and network and stuff, like I have the job that I have right now because I've thrown parties all my life and I've networked and I've gotten to know people, and people like
Right.
me because they know because of the parties. And so like it's just, what happens. Also, I never see my friends except for once every 2 months whenever I throw a party, and then I get all. You were saying earlier, Pixie, about how you love whenever you get your friends together that don't know each other.
Yes,
That's
it's my favorite thing.
I do that with my parties all the time, and all
Oh
of my
wow.
different friend circles. I've got like 5 or 6 friend circles, and they all come together and converge. And I'm like watching like my crusty Magic the Gathering friends, talk to my friends that are like chemists that work at and have their doctorate in chemistry that work in a factory
Wow.
lab over across town and all that kind of stuff. And just like the whole spectrum of everything. And it's a lot of fun seeing everybody get together.
It's like that
Um,
one party from SLC Punk where everybody's there.
yes, except
Yeah.
for no one takes Advil and dies.
Oh no.
Spoilers.
I didn't say. Who?
Who?
A lot of people die in that movie.
Um. So here's I just have a question. If someone told you like today
Yeah.
that you had to throw a birthday party for them in 2 days, could you do it?
What's the theme?
Whatever you want. Go crazy. Star
So
Wars.
here's a fun story. Oh, Star Wars party would be easy. Here's a fun story. So like 7 years ago, my boyfriend at the time, ex now obviously, but my boyfriend at the time's best friend, their birthday was 2 days from that day that I learned that their birthday was coming up, and they were really sad because they had recently broken up with their boyfriend and they weren't going to be able to throw a birthday party. So I threw together an entire Final Fantasy themed birthday party in
Oh
2 days.
Wow.
my God.
So
Holy crap.
You have
I
a
had
Buster
like
Sword on hand?
I made one out of cardboard,
Oh my God.
and then I made what are the little balls? They're not mana
Materia.
materia. I made materia Jello shots out of my Pokemon cards.
Whoa!
And I made a bunch of drinks based off of like health potions and mana potions, and then I tried to make everything like aesthetically with like the drapes, and then like I printed off a bunch of like posters and stuff and made some props and had to throw together a really quick costume. I think I was one of the girls from Final Fantasy X too.
I could
Okay.
see you be in pain.
Possibly. I don't really
Was she
remember
wearing
because like
black?
yes.
Yeah, that's
Pain.
probably pain. Yeah.
Yeah, so I threw together the whole Final Fantasy party in 2 days. Star Wars would be super easy because I already have a bunch of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
So my birthday's Sunday.
Yeah,
So if I show up at your house, you'll have a party ready for me, right?
I'll do that for you, but you got to pay for the party.
Well, forget it.
There we go.
I don't have money.
Yeah, that's see. My roommate's also going to help me pay for his birthday party, but just the
Right.
thing is that I plan it, bake the cake,
Yeah.
do all of the organizing, and then I do all the
What?
complicated stuff.
Why don't you start a career as a party planner?
I would love to, but I honestly have no idea where to start to break into that. Like, I have no idea where I'd even go. Because I think I'd be a great party planner or like a wedding planner, like professionally.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
that's not one of those things that you can just like walk up to someone and be like, I see you're looking at white dresses. Perhaps I could plan your wedding. I'm trying to plan my friend Elf's wedding because she's engaged, and I keep like getting on her about it and be like, we're gonna plan that wedding soon because I want to like see if I am any good at wedding planning.
Well, see, that's how you start. You start with your friends. You throw a few birthday parties. You do a few weddings for your friends. And what you do is you hire a photographer to come and take pictures of those places, and then you upload those to your website or whatever. And then you say, "Hey, I can do this
Maybe the
for
next
Yeah.
this
party I
amount of
throw, I
money."
should hand out business cards to everyone who comes.
Great idea. See, that's thinking like an entrepreneur.
There you go.
I'm gonna start handing out into the loop business cards everywhere I go.
The
That'd be
business cards are
awesome.
so cheap; you could get like 500 for $10.
Oh yeah.
I do have a dream, and I want to throw a party in VR chat in a mansion.
That
It
would
is
be
the
cool.
same mansion that we were in on episode 11.
Yeah. What do you
That
want?
was a one-off.
What
Uh,
episode is this?
this is 15.
Yeah, they come out bi-weekly, so this podcast has been going on since like October, November last year,
30 weeks.
December. Yeah. Gosh.
Is
Wow.
And
it?
every time
Is it good?
I think it is.
I like it.
Well, see, what we said was, okay, I want to go into this, or at least this is my opinion. I want to go into this and I want to have fun. And if it becomes not fun, I'm just not going to do it. So far, it's been fun. And the content is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you look at some, you're like, it's not great, but I had fun. But that's
That's
not
all
how
you really
I feel.
want. Dude,
But-
the Always Sunny guys never talk about the fucking episodes, like ever. I would like pay them to talk about the episodes.
Listen
but they
to their
never do.
podcast.
Oh, I do. I listen
Oh.
to it religiously. They skipped this week, which makes me angry. So all I had to listen to was the Delta Flyers podcast.
Yeah, they listen. They talk about a little bit, if I can remember, but they probably got off track.
They digress.
Yeah, I think the way I feel about this podcast is I'm having fun and it's pretty good.
Yeah. I start to listen to it and go back and try and look for things from episodes, and I'll just
Yeah.
get hooked listening immediately.
Yeah, but at the same time, the thing about that is you're talking about things that you're interested in. Me
Hmm.
personally, I have trouble listening to my voice coming through a micro. I can hear it in real life, sounds natural, but when it comes through a microphone, I'm like, ugh, that's what everyone hears. But
Right. The
I
human condition.
right, right. I'm perfect for everyone else, but not good enough for myself. How
Shame.
can this happen to me?
Right.
But
Cut it.
cut the video. Cut it. I cut that. Cut that. Cut that.
Cut
Uh,
that. We're gonna get sued by
that. Yeah,
Glenn
that's my
Howerton.
favorite thing they do is they go cut that.
And they never cut it.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Why would they?
Um, I think what Noaru said is good, but at the same token, what you're saying is we're doing something that we want to see.
Right.
So that
Right.
so that's a self-actualizing moment. And I think that's why this has continued so far. You know,
It's therapeutic almost.
it
Yeah, I can see
is.
that.
It
I've had a lot
is.
of people tell me that I should start a podcast, but I just can't imagine people wanting to hear what I have to say on that regular of a basis.
Hey,
I
well,
tend to repeat myself a lot.
I think we don't just do the podcast. We do all kinds of let's plays and things. So I mean, I'll invite you to the Discord server if you want. And we do stuff all the time. You're welcome to join anytime.
What about that segment we talked about with the nerd girl and how to woo her?
So we have about 4 minutes. You think you can do it in 4 minutes?
No, it takes a little longer. It takes a
What?
little longer than 4 minutes to woo a girl.
What? Depends.
Woo!
Depends on the girl and how much money you have, I think, and what part of the city you're in. But
You can always spot the woo girl as soon as you enter the bar.
the woo girl. Yeah, well, that because she's saying woo. Uh,
Woo!
what do you think, Noir? Could we do a segment during something? Maybe I don't know, maybe a side episode, or I have no
Next
idea.
Valentine's Day.
Next Valentine's Day.
Hey, it's
How?
Valentine's Day and you're listening to a podcast of two dudes talk to each other. You're probably lonely.
So here's how to get a nerdy girlfriend or
Let's
whatever.
fix this in time for
Yeah.
Easter.
In time for Easter.
You might get it by Labor Day.
Right? I mean, Memorial Day at the latest.
If you hear fireworks, it's way too late, bro.
Right? Well, in Japan they
Problem
treat
is
Christmas like Valentine's Day, so maybe it's a little
Oh.
bit longer of a deadline.
Hey, Christmas is a great time to breed.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, some of my favorite
It's cold.
breeding memories is from the fall, winter at times, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really remember them by season.
Well, me neither.
I like hot chocolate.
Uh,
Same.
yeah, hot chocolate's delicious.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I've
guys
got a great
ever
recipe for it, so.
you guys ever like do so what I like to do is I get coffee and I get the hot chocolate powder and put it in
Oh,
there.
absolutely.
Ever do that?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's so
Definitely.
good. I might have that here in a few minutes.
Not a bad idea.
A
Hot
little-
apple cider, though. Also love hot apple
Oh
cider.
my god.
Add a
I'm
little pat of butter to it when you heat it up. Oh,
Oh,
I'm not an eggnog fan.
eggnog's garbage.
you I you know,
I will fight about it.
you guys know that THC butter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would enhance just about every hot seasonal drink. Well, it enhance
I
every
agree.
drink, but I've never had that. But I would like some. I can just see I'm having this fantasy now where I'm taking like a knife and running across this butter and putting it in my hot apple cider now and just sipping it, and it's
sounds
warm
sick.
and THC at the same time.
I do the same thing with a snowboard, but on a mountain.
You fantasize about being on a snowboard drinking hot apple cider?
Oh,
No,
yeah.
going down a mountain.
Okay,
With
okay.
THC butter.
Yes.
Delivery!
Greasing,
Delivery!
greasing the snowboard.
Cloud Strife delivering the icicle.
I'm the THC Butterman, and I bust through
Oh.
the wall. I
Do you
go,
have
oh yeah.
do you have like one of those barrels like Saint Bernard's in old cartoons, like around your neck, and when it pops open, it's just THC butter.
You should paint that. That'd be a great painting.
Oh god.
Oh wow. That's a
That's
great high note to end an episode. So we have time. We get to end. We don't want to like be like, oh, this is a hard cap. We have to end right now. So we'd like to like get to the time limit and then ask one more question.
okay.
So Nawaru, why don't you take it away here?
Why is the show called Into the Loop?